The 7-year-old girl with an imperforate anus, a rare type of birth defect, Emeyazia, successfully underwent a surgery. The story of little Emeyazia, who hailed from a Nyocha South local government area of Delta State, attracted the attention of the wife of the Nigerian president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who read her story in a newspaper. In a swift reaction, Senator Tinubu reached out to the wife of the governor of Delta State, where little Ephraim hailed from, fast-tracking the tracing of the girl to her home. Her movement to the Federal Medical Center Asaba, the state capital, for treatment and footing of her medical bill worth over 10 million naira. The first stage of the surgery saw doctors putting a hole in Isioma Eforanimja's stomach before it moved to the second stage.
Okay, my baby was delivered 2nd of June 2017 in St. Teresa's Hospital, Iselogo. And the baby, immediately after delivering, they noticed that the baby don't have an anus. Immediately, the baby was rushed to this Federal Medical Center. Second day of delivery, while the surgery, they conducted the surgery for her. I noticed there was no hair because the operation was supposed to have been taking place for long. But due to there is no finance for it, so we waited for 7 good years, there was no way. So to God be the glory, my auntie that has been helping me, so meet a barrister and they write through the Vanguard. So they write through the Vanguard and it was the first lady that saw everything and decided to help the child.
It was a case of a 7-year-old girl who was born with this malformation, cloacal malformation. In simple terms means was born with the anus and the genitals all fused together. Means the rectum did not differentiate properly. She didn't have an anus, common parlance, she didn't have an anus. And the girl, the vagina also, you cannot differentiate. And so had a common channel for both feces and urine. In fact, this one didn't have any, there was no opening. And 3 days after life, had to have surgery done. That surgery created an opening we call a colostomy, where the baby can be passing feces temporarily, pending when the tissues mature a little, when definitive surgery could be done. After that first surgery that was done, the definitive one months later could not be done in our hospital, and a referral was given to the child to go to a teaching hospital in Anambra State for that surgery. But due to financial constraints, they could not do it. And the mother kept on managing with the child till the child was about 7. And out of frustration, not knowing what next to do, they went to the media to say that they needed help. And they wanted public-spirited individuals or the government to come to their aid. And that caught the attention of the First Lady of this country, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, who called Her Excellency in the state here and asked her to find out what was going on, that she was interested in the case, helping that girl. And then they saw Federal Medical Center, as I was mentioned, and so they got in touch with us. And we looked at our records and we saw that actually that child, about 7 years ago, had the first surgery done here. And the definitive one was not done for financial reasons and all that. And so His Excellency said he was interested and ready to foot the bill, that we should go ahead and see what we can do to salvage this child. And that was the beginning of this journey. The baby was, malnourished, had a lot of challenges here and there. And so we started to work the baby up, we started to investigate properly, to know the extent of all the challenges the baby had. At the time of investigation, they found the baby now had gastric stenosis. Stomach was dilated because the tract where it was coming out from was now, narrowed. They had to now go to theater, attended to that first, before preparing this child for this definitive surgery. Again, this is a multi-stage procedure. We had an 11-hour surgery on Saturday to try and correct those deformities. But that is not the last of it. the child will still need another surgery to go back and reverse, the colostomy. That's where it's been stolen from and all that. So you see, it requires a lot, go through a lot of stages. Even the rehabilitation of a child will require quite a lot as well. And interestingly, they had another case, another similar case, who was a year, 3 months, was discovered at about 1 month, at 1 month old, had a colostomy done so that they could at least relieve the distension the child was having at the time. And then we just felt we should use the opportunity to also help this child. And they went in on Sunday yesterday, and this one even turned out to be more challenging than the first one. They did a 14-hour surgery yesterday, finished at about 2 a.m. this morning, and both babies are doing very, very well, very, very well. And we thought we should let the public know that the government is supporting these children to have this surgery done. What we did was to get our senior colleagues from the teaching hospital, from National Hospital in particular, to come and join our surgical team on ground to carry out this surgery. I must not fail to thank and acknowledge the skills and the contribution and the leadership of Professor Emeyazia in delivering this surgery. If not for him, I don't know how easy it would have been. So he led the team ably. You can imagine standing for 14 hours to do one surgery. You can imagine what they had to go through. So it's just to inform the public and also to celebrate our own. We have this thing that people go abroad to do. We have even better skills here, but people are not aware. They are not aware. So we need to put out this thing so that the government, the people will know that the government is supporting such treatment in the country. And we all want to urge people, children with similar conditions to look inwards, urging their parents to look inwards. Help can be gotten from within. And our health sector has grown to a level that if it gets all the necessary support, we can do a lot more. We can reverse medical tourism. There's a lot we can do. With the right encouragement, with the right support for our staff, for our medical experts, there's a lot we can do to make sure that our children, even our adult patients, get the right attention that they require. So I want to thank the team, Professor Amir. We're so grateful. Our nation owes you so much for what you have done. This is just one that we're saying of so many you have done. But we want to celebrate you because we think you're worth celebrating, and we think that the nation need to know what you are doing for us in this country. Dr. Ogeneka Reniwen, I want to thank you. This is one treasure we have here. We sent him to Prof many years ago, but spent about 6 years being trained as a pediatric surgeon under Professor Amir. Today, they are now joining hands together to do great things in our nation. Dr. Chisom Ukeke, thank you so much. The beautiful pediatric surgeon we have in Nigeria. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are so, so grateful.
First, it's not a common birth defect. But in terms of whether it has been done in Nigeria, yes, it's done. We do those surgeries regularly at National Hospital and other tertiary hospitals. I think in terms of why this attention, I think one is the fact that this girl has been carrying this temporary opening on her tummy for 7 years. Normally, we try to do this surgery at the age of 6 months. So you can imagine for how long she has carried it, and that obviously affected her growth and development. Secondly, I think it's also the fact that at this hospital, we have everything that was required for that surgery to be done was there. We have one of our colleagues who had worked with us and had trained with us, who was back here and really could do that surgery. Really. We just came to support him. I think that's the important thing. We just came to support him because, again, it's very complex, and that was going to be done in this hospital for the first time. So I think that's the other important aspect. And I think, and I will emphasize, that a lot of the success of surgeries we do is not just about the surgeon, it's about the team. The perioperative nursing team, they need to be on top of their game. The anesthesia team need to be on top of their game. But you can see that because the surgery took so long, the babies are in the intensive care unit. So those are all the support that are required. So you can have the skills, you can have the surgeons, but if you don't have all this other support, and I think that that's one of the things that has been pulling our healthcare system back, because many times that support is not there. But we have all that. You have a good intensive care unit here. You have a good perioperative team. You have a good anesthesia team, very senior people. And apart from that, one of the other things with anesthesia is, for children, is totally different from adults. And we have one of the anesthetists here who again had come train in anesthesia for children with us at National Hospital. And with all of them working together with the other senior anesthetists here, everything was so smooth. So I think that teamwork is so crucial. It's not just about the surgical team alone. Yes, so the next level, once about 10 days after the surgery, once everything has healed, starts healing well, because we've created a new anus, the healing process may tend to close it. So we'll have to do what we call dilatation. We have to put some instrument there to keep it open until up to about 6 months after the surgery, until everything settles. And then we'll come back and close the temporary opening. So that will be the next surgery. But again, with birth defects, as children are growing, as they grow, we keep following them up. If there are additional things that need to be done, we'll do that along the way. But that should really be the main final surgery.
Briefing journalists at the hospital, the wife of the Delta State Governor, Deaconess Tobore Oborewori, represented by the Senior Special Assistant on Media, Mrs. Alicia Dominic Elkobi, described the surgery as a rare feat.
On behalf of Her Excellency, the First Lady of Delta State, Deaconess Tobore Oborewori, I'd like to say thank you to the management of the Federal Medical Center. Thank you for doing a good job. We came here on the 28th of August this year. We brought the child and we handed the child over to you. But there was this fear. Is it going to be possible? But when we followed the story, every time there was a success story that the mother of the child was sent to us. And on behalf of Our Excellency, I have come to say thank you. We are grateful. Thank you for not allowing us to think otherwise. Thank you for giving us hope in our medical sector. Her Excellency is very grateful.
I'm saying very big thank you to Olusegun Tinubu for her help to my daughter. I say may God bless her. And I want to say a very big thank you to the state government, the First Lady of Delta State. A very big thank you to her for her support and care.
The final stage of the surgery is scheduled for later. Eunice Emeyazia reporting.